Hey, Maria.
Lisa,
Good to see you.
after lunch,
Lunch
I'm a
was
little
good?
sleepy. It was good, but here we go.
KonnectHouse brings some good food. That's for
Yes,
sure.
they do. Yes, they do.
Okay, so it has been a very exciting day here in Chicago. We have learned all about the technology and the transformations around procurement that are coming our way. Very exciting. So our next guest, this is an interesting company. So this is Lena Chalabi from IDA8 Global, and their program, it's big. It's big. We're not talking about we're just going to fix one thing. They want to be the sum of all, which I think is really exciting. So I don't want to take the win from your sales.
Sales, exactly, yes.
But I'd love for you to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you. I know you haven't been with IDA8 too long.
Yeah.
But lay it on us.
Welcome, Lena.
Thank you so much for hosting me here. So my name is Lena Chalabi, and I've recently joined IDA8 Global. So my experience is in software sales. I've been selling SaaS now for over 10 years. I've worked with very big companies in different verticals such as cybersecurity, such as Splunk, and other big players in the market. And the reason I chose to join IDA8 Global is actually because of the technology. So one of my former colleagues who I used to work with at Splunk joined IDA8, and when I was looking at new opportunities where I wanted to progress my career, I reached out to people who I respected, who I used to work with, and that's how I came across IDA8. One of my colleagues has been working with Cyfred, because IDA8 is actually a joint venture between Cyfred, which is a 4-year-old company based out of the UK.
Okay.
That's the technology behind IDA8 Global, and Jabil, which is a large manufacturing company that's been around for over 60 years in the US, who specialize in supply chain and procurement. And so they actually came across Cyfred themselves and realized that there was an opportunity to leverage the technology that Cyfred had to offer, and to use it not only for themselves, because Jabil is a customer, but to also offer it out as a solution to the procurement and supply chain market. So that's how we came about as a joint venture between Cyfred and Jabil. And the name IDA8 came because as they were sitting there thinking about all of the different ideas of what they could come up with, when you see our product, you'll know what I mean. It's essentially almost like a Google for any kind of app you can imagine.
Yeah.
They came up with the ideation. The fact that you can always come up with new ideas, and basically like it's endless. So as
Very
you mentioned
witty.
before, kind of the sum of everything, we really identified that in the procurement space, there's a lot of, it's very ripe for disruption and for transformation and progress. And so Jabil really understood that Cyfred's technology could be used in order to help facilitate that.
Which is very, very cool, right? So one of the things, and we just had a little demo of it, which I was quite surprised to like it as much. And I'm pretty skeptical when it comes to technology around procurement, but I think the idea of attempting to have all of the wants and wishes under one roof, and that's kind of how I thought about it.
Yeah, definitely. And I have to say, just also selfishly from my own perspective as a salesperson, I never want to work for a technology that feels dated. I want to work with someone that's disrupting the way things are done. And so when I saw the solution, I really understood the potential that it had and what it could do. And hence, that makes my job easier when I'm speaking to customers, because they have a lot of great point solutions already, but they don't have anything that's end to end that can really give them that full visibility and not have that typical tech stack that most companies have these days that do certain things very well, but it's disjointed. You don't have that single unified data source and that source of truth, if you will. And so you're actually not leveraging the potential of the data within your company. Everyone is working more in silos. And this is what the tool is really meant to do, is to be that unified data layer, that single source of truth, in order for companies to really leverage what they've done internally with their own negotiation with suppliers and so on and so forth, and to ensure that they can really take advantage of the efficiency gains and basically deploy any app that you can imagine within minutes.
So are you, I'm sorry, just one more question. Are you looking to actually be your own standalone ERP? Are we headed in that direction?
Well, I think we always like to under promise and over deliver, but I think
So
that,
true.
yeah, I think that we've obviously been approached by a lot of customers who have asked us to basically rip out and replace everything for them, but that's not really our approach.
How do you implement that?
Yeah, well, exactly. And that stuff takes time. And so
Right.
what we prefer to do is to go in and find the biggest pain points and challenges that the customer is facing today and to help them solve those quickly.
Okay.
And then it's a journey, I think, and also every customer will have obviously different challenges, and obviously they will have their own preferred tech vendors that you might not win over right away. It's even hard to get people off Excel and email. So you can imagine sometimes it's a journey that you have to be on together with the customer and show them value first before promising them everything.
Okay.
Start small and really bring the business value to them in order to bring them on the rest of the journey and show them what's possible.
I have 7 more questions, but I said Maria, I stopped speaking.
I just want to ask you a question because it seems, we saw the demo, like Lisa said, and it was amazing. My question to you is, how is IDA8 Global helping or is going to help the small business community?
So what we envision eventually down the line is that we'll be able to democratize our solutions so that small businesses can utilize them as well, whether it's a small flower shop somewhere in Indonesia or maybe a shoe shop in the Netherlands, that small businesses will be able to use our tool because it's very intuitive. As you saw, it's almost just like using Google.
Yeah.
It's not hard. You don't need necessarily, maybe for a simple use case, a ton of professional services or anything to implement it. And it's not like these rigid tools where if you don't fit exactly into what their modules have defined, that it might not be applicable to you. It's composable. So what's really unique about IDA8 is that it is a composable solution, meaning that it can be customized and dynamically transformed according to what your needs are. But we also have off-the-shelf products. So depending on what it is that you need, if it's something that you say, okay, we need autonomous sourcing, or we need to understand the supply chain risk management landscape better in real time, we already have tools built out for that. But if you need something that's more bespoke and you want to play around with it a little bit, you can very easily do so. So if you're a small business and you have something that's very niche or very bespoke, our tool will be very suited to your specific needs.
Thank you.
And I would actually say for the supplier discovery, you're going to be there for the small business, right?
Yeah.
It's having those data points they're privy to that. I'm sorry, the problem is I have so many questions for you that I don't really have any one formulated really well. I'd love to think about or hear about when you're onboarding a new client, going through the work process, right? Anyone who's been part of that, going through the process of any business aspect, what's the implementation time? What are you offering for the support around building that out?
I think that's instrumental in making sure that obviously the customer has a really good experience and that everything runs very smoothly. But as you saw before, when we typed into our neural genesis, which is like essentially our own proprietary AI model that we built or Cypher built, you can type in anything and it will spin up the scaffolding of an app, of a business process, if you will, within seconds. And then obviously we'll work together with the client to make sure that it is customized according to their own needs. But essentially we really want to make sure that our customer success is the first and foremost, the one thing that we prioritize. So we really make sure that our teams are there on the ground, understanding the business processes, the uniqueness of the business that we're working in with them, to ensure that at the end they can get value very quickly. And it is something that can be done in, we say, weeks, not months or years. So it is something that, because as we know, a lot of time with these implementation projects, what happens is by the time it's done, your requirements have changed. And so that's often the issue is that, and so we have a way more quicker and much more dynamic approach. So if you decide tomorrow, hey, actually, I want to change that field in that box. Actually, I want to change the button in the user interface so that it makes it more intuitive for the person who's putting in the request to buy something. We can change it on the spot. It's not something that needs to take a lot of implementation services or a lot of time.
So I actually had 2 thoughts just from my walk from your booth when I saw the demo to here. I thought, this is a great product for large business, right? What a great opportunity to come in and do some clean house. And then as I got about halfway here, I thought, no, I think this might actually be as valuable to the mid-market, because the mid-market, right at that point of when you're giving consideration to your procurement staff, you haven't really built out procurement. Is that what you were talking about for some out-of-the-box solutions?
Exactly, yeah. So I think that whether you're a small, medium, or large organization, oftentimes even the large organizations don't really have a proper procurement setup or technology, I think. So I think oftentimes procurement's been a little bit forgotten in a way. It's been seen as a cost center. They haven't really innovated and been, as strategic as maybe other parts of the business. But I think in the current climate now, with the climate change happening and disruption to manufacturing and the geopolitical changes that are happening with tariffs, actually now is like a really exciting time to be in the procurement space, because without it, the business won't function.
Right.
So resilience throughout that is really survival for a lot of businesses right now. And so hence, I do think that our tool is going to be very instrumental in helping a lot of these businesses survive, because it's not going to be okay to not do anything anymore. And you'd be surprised even the large companies don't always have something in place already. So what we're saying now to any customer size that come to us is, whether you're at the beginning of looking into technology to improve your processes and gain efficiencies, or if you're already quite developed, we can help add value, and we can fit nicely into your existing tech stack. You don't need to rip anything out or replace anything today, but if you want to, it's possible.
So this has been fantastic.
Thank you
really
so much.
I mean, I feel like I want to go back. I want to see another demo. I want to go through all the modules of it. To those of you that are watching, ID8 Global, it's certainly one of the new softwares that I'm hearing about, but absolutely worth taking some time and checking it out. Do you have some YouTube demos or such?
Yeah, and just reach out to us directly, because actually any question that you have, we can do a POC on the spot and prove out the value immediately in terms of what our solution can build. And yeah, it would be really exciting to tomorrow when we do our demo here, actually we're going to ask a few lucky people in the crowd to give us some ideas of what they want to see and show the magic of what ID8 can do.
That's terrific.
Excellent.
That's terrific. This was so great. Thank you.
so much,
It was a pleasure.
Lena.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure having you here.
Bye.
All right, everybody. We'll see you in a little bit. We've got lots more people to talk to today. Take care.
Take care. Bye.